Governor Cuomo said that he'd visit a hydro-fracking site in Pennsylvania, and now opponents of the practice, they're holding him to it. Here's a look at what the governor said to fracking protesters on primary day.
Excuse me. Can we just have a little room, please?
Well, if he had made that out, he said he'd go. Now, the governor's response appeared to lose, however. He said he'd go see a fracking site in Pennsylvania. Opponents sent him a letter last week asking him to make the trip. And while the governor has yet to take a stance on the issue here, his Republican challenger Rob Astorino said he's all for fracking. And he spoke to Andrew about the issue and about how one Pennsylvania community is thriving economically due to drilling.
There's two Tioga counties, by the way. Tioga County, New York, Tioga County, Pennsylvania. Both are in the natural gas shale. Tioga County, Pennsylvania, doing great. Money coming in, taxes coming in, cars are being sold, people going out to dinner, people are employed. Tioga County, New York, unemployment is high, no job growth whatsoever. People are moving, they can't pay their taxes. And we're looking across the border, and it's like East Berlin and West Berlin. New York, tumbleweeds. Pennsylvania, growth. And it's something that we cannot be afraid of. We're not first into this, by the way. We're last. So we'll have learned from everyone else. And it's something that we need to move forward.
Now, a reporter at the time, Kim Lango, she traveled to Pennsylvania and spoke with folks who are on both sides of this debate. Take a listen.
For decades, Williamsport, a small city in Lycoming County in northern Pennsylvania, has been known as the home of the Little League World Series. In good years, its well-manicured Little League diamonds attracted thousands. But today, city officials admit iconic charm only goes so far in an economic downturn.
If we didn't have Marcellus Shale, a God-given, I believe, natural resource, our unemployment rates would be much higher.
I see young people who are getting paychecks now that 6 months ago, a year ago, 2 years ago were on the unemployment lines, and now they're making good family-sustaining wages. You have high school graduates that are making $80,000 a year working on the wells.
About 3 years ago, drilling rigs, fracking sites, and gas well production pads began popping up in the lush countrysides that lie between Williamsport and New York. In those 3 short years, the gas rush propelled the city from stagnant to the 7th fastest growing economy in the nation.
This used to be the lumber capital of the world over 100 years ago. Now we're becoming an epicenter for a new energy revolution. New development,
Vincent Matteo is the president of the Williamsport-Lycoming Chamber of Commerce. In his 31 years in economic development, he says he's never seen such rapid growth. How many sites around the county would you say are like this, where you guys are hustling and bustling to get buildings up to either house people or take people's money?
It's a large number. It's hard to keep track.
20, 30?
At least. And it's tough to find cranes in this area right now. So construction cranes, it's nice to see them in the city.
When I came in the office, we had 3 hotels. By the end of next year, I'm going to have 7 hotels. So that means 4 hotels have been built in less than 4.5 years. I think that's a good thing.
Republican Mayor Gabe Campana, a self-described pro-business politician, says the city's rapid development is all thanks to the gas that's deep below their feet, known as the Marcellus Shale. Campana says Pennsylvania could actually be more business-friendly to the gas industry.
This could go away. I know there's a lot of people who are saying this is in the infancy stage and it could become a lot larger, but I believe if government is anti-business, and I'm talking about overly taxing these companies, they can go someplace else.
Pennsylvania already has the distinction of being the nation's largest gas-producing state that doesn't impose a tax on drilling. And Penn State University professor of agricultural economics, Tim Kelsey, says the mayor's analysis of the winners and losers in natural gas development is far too simplistic.
There's been a lot of rhetoric here about the size of the economic benefits, and there are some large impacts on employment, on income going into the community. At the same time, though, it's very clear that there are costs.
In a study released last year, Kelsey and his team of academic researchers looked at where leasing and royalty dollars are actually going. They also traced how much money was going in and out of local governments as a result of natural gas development. Kelsey and his team uncovered 2 key findings that appear to debunk the theory that hydrofracking is an economic boom for the local economy. Only about 18% of local governments in Pennsylvania where drilling is occurring reported that their tax revenues increased, while 26% of local governments reported that their costs increased. They reported spending money on things like improving roads and other Department of Works projects. But Matteo and Campana still say it's all worth it.
You don't want this in your backyard. Well, what do you want? For years we heard people say, we need to bring jobs to Lycoming County. We are tired of our children moving away. We're tired of the brain drain, to the metro. Well, here it is. You have an opportunity.
But some would call that position on hydrofracking too convenient. And some have said it's easy to support an industry that hasn't encroached on your livelihood.
Close by we have the Fry-Moser well pad, we have the Lucella well pad, we have the Tome. Lucella's and Tome are roughly a half mile, 6/10 of a mile from us.
Drake Saxton and his wife, Andrea Young, are the owners of a beautiful bed and breakfast that's surrounded by gas wells. They're among the small but vocal minority that's been labeled so-called country complainers for their outspoken attitude against fracking. There's no hydrofracking in Williamsport because the industry doesn't find it profitable to drill in densely populated areas. But Drake and Andrea don't think they should be stuck with it either.
The people at the Chamber of Commerce need to get out of their office and come here. We'll let them have a little drink of water. I would like those people at the Chamber of Commerce to submit to what we have to submit to. We have people coming in our home now twice a week. They monitor the air. They run our water for 20-25 minutes. They take samples 2 times a week. You have no privacy. Your home is no longer yours. We're trying to work around that with our guests. It's going to have a very negative effect on those guests. We don't have to let those people in to do this monitoring, but then our house may blow up. The people in the Chamber of Commerce need to come to the real world and stop worrying about $1 at any cost.
All right, so you heard the pro and the con there on hydrofracking. We come back, Table's got their own points of view on it as well. Stay with us.